Wayne says, hi guys, I have a prospect that manages various hotel restaurants and bars throughout a major city. All of their properties under management are listed on their website and in various blog posts. How would you go about ranking different properties under one management domain? I'm not sure what you mean by that. I'm sorry, Wayne, if I'm not really fully understanding. Even if you had like a property management group, I can't imagine each one of the separate hotel, restaurants, and bars not having their own separate website. If they, and that may be the case, it seems odd to me, but if that's the case, then they should at least have their own unique landing pages, right? On the management domain, right? They should each have their own dedicated page on the domain, in which case that would be their company page or their landing page, right? And then so in that case, you can just promote that as if it were a standalone site or page.
Yeah, you
Again,
might want to
without
dig a little. Oh, sorry, you might want to dig a little deeper too, Wayne, and see if they do have their own, even if it's a one-page type of site. Like maybe they haven't shared it with you. I might do a little digging on this.
Yeah, because what I mean, again, usually they should still. I mean, I'm sure there's circumstances that I haven't seen, right, and this may be one of them. But typically, even if they're on like a property management or whatever website, then they should probably have their own landing page or dedicated page for each one of those bars and restaurants or whatever. I would suspect that they would, and then you can just use that as like the money site URL for each one of those businesses. For example, if you were going to be building citations, you could actually use that URL, that specific URL to that landing page for that business as the money site URL with its phone number and the address and all that. That should all be unique, right? Because think about it, like, guys, you can have multiple locations, physical locations, all on one domain, right? Each domain, like for example, we talk about using subdomains all the time, creating like I always like to name the subdomain after the city and doing it that way if I'm creating a multi-location business. However, you can do it with landing pages. So it can be an inner page. It would just be a dedicated page for each location. And in your Google My Business dashboard, when you add your URL for that location, you make sure that you copy that specific location page URL. So it wouldn't be the root domain. It would be that inner page as the actual money site URL for that location. That's perfectly fine. Google accepts that. There's no problem with that. So that's one way that you could do it. And, if they don't have their own dedicated pages, their own dedicated websites, and they don't have their own dedicated pages on the management domain, I would approach the management company and ask that gets done. In other words, that they each get their own dedicated page so that you can use it as just mentioned. Okay. That's kind of an interesting question. If you could clarify that a little bit further, we might be able to help a little bit more.